If you're running a small business and figuring out your social media strategy, it can be hard to know where to start, especially if you're basically running a one-man show right now. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to organize your efforts for a small business on social media in 6 steps. So let's go ahead and get started with step number 1, customer research. You need to know what your target market looks like on social media. This is priority number 1 because if you do everything else on this list for the wrong audience, nothing's going to work. We had a client that was actually featured on CNBC's The Profit. I'll link the clip from that episode if you want to check that out. But the client sold coolers. He thought his target demographic was groomsmen because he thought it would be a good bachelor party idea or gift giving idea. But then Karan asked the all-important question, does the data tell you that's who your customer is? Turns out it made more sense to pursue people who were likely to need a cooler, such as outdoor enthusiasts, soccer moms, tailgaters, and so on. I think sometimes as business owners, it's easy to get caught up in what you think your audience would look like, or maybe even what you would like your audience to look like. When in reality, your audience should be strictly defined by the data and customer research that you perform. So how do you gather that data and create a buyer persona? That is the first thing I show you how to do in this video, and I also have a whole video dedicated to nailing down your target audience. So I will link both of those for you to check out next. The second thing you need to do is perform competitor research. List out your direct and indirect competitors and then determine which of them are active on social media. These are the accounts going after your shared target market. If they're doing well on social media, then they're likely stealing attention and ultimately customers away from your business. If they're not doing well on social media, then use it as a roadmap of what not to do. Look at the content they're putting out and analyze how your target market is responding to it so you can adjust your content accordingly. Morgan has a great 7-step video on how to complete a thorough competitor analysis, so I'll link that below. Step number 3 is to start writing the copy for your social media calendar. Steps 1 and 2 should give you a clear idea of at least 5 main topics your social media post will be centered around. So now you can start writing the captions of the post you want to publish. And for me personally, I include hashtag research in this step because hashtags are a part of the copy. So the first thing you want to think about here as a small business owner is time management. Are you personally going to create the content calendar for your social media from week to week? Or do you need to outsource that task? You could hire somebody, but oftentimes it's cheaper to just pay a professional agency like LYFE Marketing to handle your social media instead. Which I will mention we do for small businesses every single day, so I'll put our contact link below for anybody who's interested in learning more about that. But for all of you wanting to tackle this on your own, let's press on. When you're writing social media captions, there are 3 key things you want to keep in mind: the post type, the goal of this post, and who it's for. Starting with the post type, I'm referring to things like, is this a caption for a Facebook reel, an Instagram story, a YouTube community poll, etc. Knowing the post type should absolutely guide you in the format and style of your caption. For the goal of the post, you need to know why you're posting it. Is it to drive sales, engagement, new followers? Not every single social media post needs to have a CTA to purchase, but some of them do. Not every single social media post needs to be an engaging post to garner likes, but some of them do. Being salesy all the time will drive away followers, but on the flip side, never being salesy means you might not be capitalizing on your followers. There should be a balance in the type of social media posts you publish, and you achieve that balance by knowing in advance what the goal is of each social media post. And then the last thing we said to know was who it's for. After you've established who your target audience is, you may find that you have sub-audiences. Running with the client who sold coolers, for example, some of their posts may be geared towards soccer moms, whereas some of them may be more focused towards outdoor enthusiasts. We can look at our own social media as another example. As a whole, we help small businesses grow via online marketing, but online marketing encompasses many things. So some of our posts may help people who are interested in social media marketing, whereas some may help people interested in Google advertising, and so on. Knowing the post type, the goal of the post, and who the post is for will help you write a better social media caption every time. For more help with this step, I'm going to link these 2 videos below for you to watch next. All right, step 4 is to create the photography, videography, and graphics for your social media. Again, you'll want to start thinking about if you have the time and or skill set to manage this because it will need to be done for every single social media post you put out. If you want to actually be successful on social media, you need to get comfortable posting reels, or whatever the short form video is called on the platform you're working with. Be it reels, TikToks, TikToks, YouTube Shorts, etc. If you're not posting videos, you are not going to get the same amount of views, engagement, brand awareness, and ultimately website clicks, leads, and sales as you would posting short videos. Now, having said that, regular photos and graphic designs still matter because when someone looks at your page, specifically on Instagram or TikTok, they don't see the videos, they see what? Thumbnails. And a lot of times, how aesthetically pleasing your feed looks can make the difference in whether someone follows you or not. Plus, it's good practice to ensure everything looks branded and cohesive because that's going to help with brand recall. And when you're a new business, you need all the brand recall you can get. Jelly has an entire graphic design playlist with helpful tutorials on how to create thumbnails using free programs like Canva, so I will link that below. Step 5 is to monitor your social media messages daily. Every single comment or DM you receive needs to be acknowledged and responded to promptly within 24 hours. Responding to or at least hearting and liking comments does several things. Number 1, it shows people that you are responsive and that this page is active and up to date. Number 2, it helps create more engagement. When people see that you answer their questions, they're more likely to comment and ask their questions. And the more engagement you get, the more the algorithm is going to serve your post organically. And number 3, it's just good customer service. One of the biggest reasons consumers engage with brands on social media in the first place is because it gives them direct access. If you're not really responding to people or taking days and weeks to get back to people, it sort of defeats the purpose of why a lot of people would follow you to begin with. Plus, there will be a portion of people who are reaching out to you on social media because they're dissatisfied with their transaction, and if you're not responsive, that's only going to add fuel to the fire. Next thing you know, you've got 2 new Google reviews and they are both terrible. So just make sure either you or someone on your team is responding to social media messages and comments every day in a professional way that matches your brand voice. And the last thing to take into consideration when organizing your small business social media efforts is to designate someone to gauge your performance. Somebody, whether it's you, an agency you hire, or a team member you employ, needs to have a pulse on your social media performance. Is what you're doing actually working? You don't want to just keep doing the same things month over month with no clue as to whether they're actually helping you reach your goal or not. When looking at your social media analytics, these are some of the questions you want to ask. What type of content is getting the most engagement versus the least? AKA, what should you post more of and less of? Where are the holes in your social media funnel? Are there trends you're missing out on? Where are people falling off? You need someone who isn't swamped with day-to-day tasks that can take the time to analyze your strategy and pivot when necessary. Someone to steer the ship, if you will, and alert the rest of the crew when and if things need to change to actually realize results. So those are the 6 basic things that need to happen when you're starting to implement a social media strategy for a small business. I hope that helps give you an idea of how to organize your small business for social media. Please like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell if it did, and I will see you guys in the next episode.